Hello everyone, it is me Sasha Kawaii Cat, and in today's video, I will be redesigning Hazbin Hotel demons as angels. Again. The first video I made redesigning the demons as angels did extremely well, however a lot of views also means a lot of comments, which means a lot of feedback and criticism. I do happen to read a lot of the comments, and a few of them did get me thinking about the way I approached the designs of some of the characters, which made me want to try redesigning some of them again. In general, I do like how most of them turned out, but there are definitely a few that I struggled with and I feel like could use some improvement. First up, we have Angel Dust. For Angel Dust's original angel design, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with his outfit. My initial idea was to give him a coat that looked like a dress, but then I ended up giving him pants, which I really felt took away from the feminine aspects of the character. I don't think the pants really suited him in the end, so this time I wanted to give him an outfit that matched his original vibe and aesthetic more. I ended up going back to my original idea of giving him a coat that also reads as a dress, along with what could be shorts or a skirt, depending on who you ask, but I'll never tell. For the overall design, I added lots of hearts since hearts are a significant part of Angel's original design. I gave him a chest window shaped in a heart similar to the one that's on his actual body, along with hearts on his puffy sleeves. I also added a golden belt with a cross on it, which I think really brings the whole outfit together. I stuck with very long boots because I really like Angel's original long boots. And of course I gave him beautiful wings because he's an angel, so of course he has wings. I kept his gloves relatively the same because I really like his original gloves, but I got rid of the stripes on his outfit because I didn't think they were necessary. This time I kept his pointy teeth because I realized that as a spider, he would definitely still have them, similar to how Serpentius still has his as an angel since he's a snake. There are some elements of the design that is similar to who we presume is his sister Molly. We can see her in the background dancing during the song Welcome to Heaven, and she's wearing a cute dress with round puffy sleeves. I really like the sleeves, so I decided to take that element of her design and add it to Angel Dust's outfit. Interestingly, she does have a similar color scheme to the typical occupants of Hell, with the dark colors and the bright red. However, though similar to someone like Angel Dust, there's a bit more contrast since a lot of Angel's outfit is white while hers has a more darker color scheme. So while it would have been interesting to give Angel a similar color scheme to his sister, I decided to do my own thing. I ended up giving Angel two different color schemes that match the original color scheme I did for the first Angel design. I think the blue and gold are still my favorite, but I really do like the pink as well. I know that pink is Angel's overall main color scheme, so that's the color I wanted to highlight the most, but the blue was really just to add a sense of contrast, and I think it works well for his design. Let's move on to the drawing process. For the actual drawing, I had a hard time getting this pose right, and you can still see where I messed up, but hopefully it's not too noticeable. Initially, while I was drawing Angel's coat, I tried to play around with the length of the coat, but I wasn't sure if I wanted it to match his original demon design or not. Eventually, I decided to do my own thing and gave it a more flowy element. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to draw his hands, and eventually I figured it out. I really hate and like drawing hands at the same time, because if you can pull them off, they look so great and impressive, but it's such a pain to get them to look decent. In this case, I think I did an okay job. The smartest thing I did was to hide two of his hands behind his head to save myself the trouble. That certainly made things easier for me. To talk about the pose briefly, I almost gave him a pose that would show off his butt. Then I remembered he's a skinny twink, he doesn't really have an ass to show off, and I was like, forget about it. His arms and his legs are his best features, so those should be the star of the show as opposed to anything else. His legs happen to be drawn very specifically in his original demon design, and though I attempted to draw them, I eventually gave up and did my own thing because they just didn't look right to me. However, this time I did try to actually make him look tall and lanky, as opposed to the original Angel design that I did where he sort of looks a lot more curvier than Angel Dust actually is. Overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's a significant improvement from the first drawing that I did, and I'm really happy with how Angel looks. Let's move on to Alastor. Now, Alistar's angel design is one that I really wanted to take a crack at again. The first drawing that I did was really painful to design because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with his hair and antlers, not to mention his whole outfit, and I really didn't have a good idea of what I wanted to do at first, and so a lot of mistakes were made. Looking at his outfit, I think it's just structured very weird in some areas, so I really wanted to fix that. This time I decided that I wouldn't try to stick too closely to his original outfit and do my own thing, so I gave him a coat that's a bit more fancy while still being close to his original outfit so it would still be recognizable. Besides the overall shape, I didn't really have to change too much, but the things that I did change I think are an improvement for sure. I added a few more hearts to his design, which I really like, and I kept the hearts on his shoes, though they really aren't visible in the pose that I gave him. Overall, the outfit wasn't changed that significantly, however I do think it's structured a bit better this time. The thing that I ended up changing was his entire face and skin tone. That's the thing that I really wanted to design a bit differently this time around. In the first angel design that I did for Alastor, I wanted him to have a sort of racially ambiguous look, similar to his original design. However, I don't think that came across at all, so this time I decided to go even more humanoid with his appearance and not worry too much about keeping that ambiguity. This time I figured out how to keep the general shape of his hair without making it look exactly like Alastor's demon design. So I got rid of the ears this time, I gave him dark brown hair, and I styled it in a way that I think would probably match the time period that he's from a bit more. The hairstyle also made it easier to show off his golden antlers, since they were not competing with his ears for space. I still really love these antlers. I like to imagine that this is his reward for being a good little boy. He gets clearer skin and big golden antlers. I mean, I still think they'd never let him into heaven, but it's fun to imagine. This time I corrected my mistake and gave him some wings. Initially, I thought it was okay to not give him wings and basically any of the other characters wings, because I was basing my design on Serpentius, who doesn't appear to have wings in his angel design, but literally everyone else in heaven has wings, so I had to give Alastor some big old wings as well. And honestly, I think they look great. They really do pull the whole look together. As for his staff, I kept that exactly the same because I really love the design I came up with. Someone in the comments said it looks like Star Butterfly's wand, and you, my lovely commenter, are 100% correct. That was definitely the inspiration, and I love it. Overall, I didn't change too much with Alastor's design, particularly the color scheme, but overall I still think this is an improvement, and I'm very happy with how this drawing turned out. To talk very briefly about the drawing process, again, coming up with a pose was a struggle, but eventually I figured it out. I don't know if I'm happy with the pose I ended up with, but I also don't hate it, so I think it works, but it would have probably turned out better if I had used a reference. Looking over the drawing process, I totally forgot that I almost gave this man ears, and I'm so glad I got rid of them because he already has human ears and that would be weird. Unless they really aren't ears and they're just a part of his hair. Either way, I'm glad I got rid of them because I don't think they add anything to his design. Lastly, I do want to mention that some of you didn't like the smooth teeth, and you know what? I don't blame you. They do look off-putting. I briefly played around with the idea of giving him pointy teeth in this redesign, but ultimately I decided against it. I do think with this more humanoid appearance, the smooth teeth do look a lot better. And there you have it, my redesign of Angel Alastor. I hope you guys like how it turned out. Please comment below and let me know if you prefer this one or the original. Last but certainly not least is Husker. So in the first video, I completely forgot about Husk, and in the end, I decided not to draw him. Some of you were disappointed, but I realize now that my mind was trying to save me from going through the struggle of trying to redesign Husker because his design is just so complicated. But anyway, let's get into it. The first thing I had to do with Husker's design is I had to decide if I wanted to go more humanoid or not. And in the end, to save myself the trouble, I went humanoid. I like some elements of Husker's design, but I had no idea he was meant to be a cat. There's so much going on with his design, and I'm sure a lot of it is significant in some way, but at times it just feels like too much. So I wanted to simplify his look a little bit. We got a brief look at Husker's Overlord design, and I found myself using that design as inspiration. So I gave him the slick back hair with elements of gray throughout and a nice beard to match the shape of his original face. For his outfit, originally I gave him a coat, but I eventually realized it just didn't match the design of Husk that we are most familiar with. So I decided to go back to his overalls, and this time with a shirt underneath, and I think that was a good choice. As for the rest of his outfit, I added hearts on his pants to match the ones on his gloves. In his original design, I think what I'm interpreting as gloves are really just the pattern of his fur. But in his humanoid design, I made them actual gloves. I also gave him shoes, though looking back, I could have given him some cat-like feet, but I do like the shoes. And looking over the original design, funnily enough, I think he ended up looking more like a werewolf, which is interesting. Getting rid of the big ears really does take away from the whole cat look, I think. I feel like I've seen some comments about him hating cats, so maybe him looking less feline as an angel is a good thing. I did keep the sharp teeth, but I don't know how I feel about them. I ended up giving Husk these big bushy eyebrows to match his original eyebrows. However, to keep an element of the colorful red eyebrows, I added a feather on his hat that looks similar to them. I also added a heart in the middle of his face, though I don't know how obvious it is. I really like Husk as a character, and he happens to be voiced by my favorite voice actor, Keith David, but I feel like we still need to see a bit more of his character. I do like how wise and observant he is, but I don't know if I want him to exist as like a tool to fix people's problems, if that makes sense. Like, I hope we get to see more of his backstory in season 2, and I hope they develop him further as a character, especially outside of whatever potential relationship he ends up having with Angel Dust, if in fact the writers decide to go down that path. It's funny that while I was drawing this, I was thinking about that scene where Alistar put Husk in his place, so to speak. And I think it's funny how Alistar getting that mad at Husk really just confirmed that Husk is right about someone having Alistar on a leash. Because how would Husk even know that? It's not like Alistar would have told him. I don't get the impression that they have that kind of relationship and that Alistar would ever trust him or anyone, as a matter of fact, with that type of information about himself. I get the impression that because Husk is so observant, he was able to just figure that out. Like, I imagine Husk knows Alistar enough to probably question why he's really at the hotel, and was basically able to put 2 and 2 together and figure out he's probably being forced to stay there. Like, why else would he be there? Oh, he really just wants to watch people suffer and fail? Dude, just go outside. You're in hell. There's plenty of that to go around. This is all just a theory, of course, but then when Husk brought it up and made that offhand comment, Alistar really snapped at him, so he's probably right. Someone does have Alistar on a leash, or he wouldn't have gotten so mad about Husk even saying anything. I feel like if it wasn't true, then he would have just shrugged it off. I don't know, this show is very interesting, and there is definitely some stuff that isn't for me, but I'm still so curious about what everyone's secrets are. I can't wait for season 2. But yeah, that's Husk's angel design. I ended up doing 2 color schemes for him as well because I wasn't sure about the design of his wings. Truly, Alistar is the only one whose color I didn't change at all. Well, the color scheme of his outfit, to be specific. But I'm very happy with the overall color schemes that I chose for all the angels designs. So those are all the drawings. I'm so happy with how all of them turned out. Everyone looks so hot. I mean, just look at Alistar, look at Husk and Angel. Tell me you don't want to see these 2 together. Please, someone do fan art of the angel designs for Husk and Angel Dust. Someone do fan art of them together for me, please and thank you. I would very much enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like my art and you'd like to show your support, you can always donate to my Ko-fi account. The link to that is always in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!